What is the key to going to the next level as a leader? That's a great question, but one that some people might struggle to answer. Perhaps, let me state it this way. What is the greatest obstacle you will face once you have begun achieving your goals and tasting success? You see, I believe it is the ability to let go of what you have so that you can reach for something new. That's because often the greatest obstacle you will face as a leader might be your own achievements. Author and pastor Rick Warren said it this way: the greatest detriment to tomorrow's success is today's success. Here's the question that every leader must ask him or herself regularly. What is the next level worth? John Maxwell teaches a very helpful principle, and that is this: pay now, play later. We all pay in life. Anything we get will cost us or exact a price from us, and the longer we wait to pay, well, the greater the price. A successful life is a series of, trade-offs. I found that the higher you go, the harder it is to make trade-offs. Why, you ask? Well, as we climb higher, we have more, and we find it more difficult to let go of what we have worked so hard for. Trade-offs become harder the more you have to lose. If you want to be a better leader, get ready to make some trades. Let me give you really 10 trade-offs worth making. Number 1, trade affirmation for accomplishment. This is difficult for most all of us. We want affirmation and we want approval from others. It's just human nature. But affirmation and approval should be the byproduct, not the goal. This is a question I ask myself regularly. Do you want to be loved more than you want to lead? Number 2, trade security for significance. The greatest leaders in history were great not because of what they owned or earned, but because of what they gave their lives to accomplish. Something in human nature kind of woos us to stay where we're comfortable. But if we always choose security, then here's the thing: we will always sacrifice growth. Number 3, trade financial gain for future potential. The temptation is always to go for the cash, the quick score. But go back to the principle of pay now and play later. If you're willing to sacrifice on the front end for the possibility of a greater potential, you're almost always given greater chances for higher rewards. Number 4, trade immediate pleasure for personal growth. As I've read and I've listened to many of John Maxwell's books and talks for several years, he has always encouraged people to delay gratification when it comes to personal growth. He himself had learned a long time ago that if you put off pleasures today, all the conveniences and all the luxuries in order to pursue personal growth opportunities, you'll never regret it. Then number 5, trade exploration for focus. You see, the only way to go far is to specialize in something. If you study the lives of great men and great women, you will find that, they were very single-minded. Once you have found what you were, created to do, that's when we need to make it our focus, and that's when we need to really stick with it. Number 6, trade quantity of life for quality of life. I once read that the president of a large publishing company sought out a wise man to really get his advice. And after describing the chaos of his life, he silently waited to hear something of value from the sage. The older man said nothing. He simply took a teapot and began pouring tea into a cup. He kept pouring until, the tea overflowed and began to cover the table. "What are you doing?" the businessman exclaimed. The wise man smiled and said, "Your life is like a teacup, flowing over. There's no room for anything new. You need to pour out, not just take in more." And number 7, trade acceptable for excellent. People do not pay for average, and they are not impressed by anything merely acceptable. If something is worth doing, then we should give everything we have to do it. We should give our best or not do it at all. I've heard it said this way: leaders cannot rise up on the wings of mediocrity. We must strive for excellence. And then number 8, trade addition for multiplication. You know, one is too small a number to achieve greatness. That's why leaders who develop leaders really multiply their ability. We all should add value to leaders who multiply value to others. And number 9, trade the first half for the second half. If you're in the second half of life, you have probably spent much of your time paying the price for success. Don't waste it. Be willing to trade it for significance. Do things that will, live on after you are gone. And if you're in your first half, we'll keep paying the price so that you have something to offer in your second half. And number 10, trade work for God for a walk with God. If you're not a person of faith, then this may not make sense to you. However, if faith is a part of your life, remember that no matter how much value your work has, it cannot compare with a relationship with your Creator. You know, to be an excellent leader, I think you have to really learn to travel light. You must learn to offload before you try to reload. To be a significant leader, you must be willing to keep making trades, because for everything you and I gain, we have to give up something. So here's a question for you. It's a question to really reflect on, and that is this. Are you willing to give up to go up? You know, I hope this has challenged you today in your leadership journey. And for more thoughts on leadership and how you can go to the next level, subscribe and like my YouTube channel, or just follow me on social media. Also, check out my latest No Limits Challenge. Until next time, keep moving forward.